Today's story is about a simple potter from a quiet village who learned one of life's most powerful lessons: you cannot judge a single chapter and call it the whole story. Watch till the end, because this story might change the way you see every loss, every failure, and every unexpected turn in your life. Long ago, in a small village called Mithapur, between two gentle hills in the heart of India, there lived a potter named Rajan. His hands were rough from years of shaping clay. His home was small, just 4 walls, a clay roof, and a courtyard where his wheel spun every morning before sunrise. Rajan lived with his wife, Meena, a calm and kind woman, and their daughter Priya, who carried her father's steady eyes and her mother's gentle smile. They were not rich, but they had enough. Every day, Rajan made pots, bowls, and lamps. He sold them at the weekly market, earned just enough to feed his family, and returned home content. He never compared himself to others. He never rushed. He never panicked. No matter what happened, a bad market day, a broken kiln, or a ruined batch of pots, Rajan would quietly say, "We cannot see the whole river from where we stand. Let us walk further before we judge the path." The villagers didn't understand him. Some called him foolish. Others said he had no ambition. But Rajan simply smiled, and returned to his wheel. One spring, a government officer arrived in the village with big news. The king's palace was looking for a master potter, someone to create royal vessels, decorative lamps, and ceremonial pieces for the annual festival. The reward was huge. 10 times the income of any village potter, a house near the palace, respect, and a secure future. The officer had heard of Rajan's skill. He came straight to his door and said, "Pack your things, you leave in 3 days." The village erupted with excitement. Neighbors rushed to congratulate him. Children ran through the streets shouting the news. And Meena stood there with tears of joy in her eyes. But on the second day, everything changed. A jealous potter named Suresh went to the officer and whispered lies. He claimed Rajan's pots had cracked during a temple ceremony, that his work was weak, that he could not be trusted. The officer didn't check the truth. He simply cancelled Rajan's appointment, and gave the position to Suresh. Just like that, it was gone. The village fell silent. Meena was heartbroken. Priya cried into her pillow that night. Neighbors shook their heads and whispered, "After all his hard work, this is what he gets. Cheated. Left behind." But the next morning, Rajan sat at his wheel, hands in the clay, calm as still water. Priya came to him, her eyes red with tears, and asked, "Father, how can you sit here like nothing happened? Aren't you angry? Aren't you sad?" Rajan looked at her gently and said, "A seed does not become a tree in one day, my child. What looks like a closed door may be protecting us from something inside that room. Be patient, be thankful, keep your faith strong." Priya didn't fully understand, but she wiped her tears and chose to trust her father. Life moved on. Rajan kept working, but 2 months later, another blow came. His old kiln, the one his father had built 30 years ago, cracked beyond repair. Without the kiln, he couldn't fire his pots. Without pots, he couldn't go to the market. And without the market, there was no income. Once again, the village shook its head. "Poor Rajan," they said. "First the palace job, now this. Bad luck follows him everywhere." Mina sat quietly, worry filling her heart. Their savings were small, and not enough to build a new kiln. That evening, a traveling craftsman passed through the village. He was tired, hungry, and worn from the road. Rajan welcomed him without hesitation. He invited him inside, served him a warm meal, and gave him a place to rest, asking for nothing in return. The next morning, the craftsman stood beside the broken kiln and examined it carefully. Then he smiled. "This kiln can be rebuilt," he said. "But more than that, I can show you something better. A new design, one that can fire twice as many pots in half the time." He paused, then added quietly, "I have taught this method to only 3 potters in my entire life, and I will teach it to you." For the next 10 days, they worked side by side. And when it was finished, Rajan had a kiln unlike anything the village had ever seen. It was faster, stronger, and his pots came out smoother, with richer colors than before. The villagers watched in silent surprise. Slowly, word began to spread. Then quickly, a merchant from the city came. Then another. A temple committee placed a large order for festival lamps. A wealthy family requested a full set of ceremonial bowls. Within a year, Rajan was earning more than he had ever imagined. More than the palace job could have ever given him. And then, news about Suresh arrived. The same man who had taken Rajan's place through lies, had failed. He couldn't meet the palace's standards. His pots cracked under pressure. Within 8 months, he was dismissed and returned to the village in shame. When Rajan heard the news, he showed no pride, no anger, no satisfaction. He simply nodded and said, "Life keeps its own accounts, we do not need to." One evening, Priya sat beside her father under the old peepal tree. The sky was painted deep orange, and the air was calm and cool. "Papa," she said softly, "I've been thinking about everything that happened, the palace job we lost, the kiln that broke, and where we are now." She paused, then continued, "Every time something bad happened, I thought our life was falling apart, but each time, it was actually building something better." Rajan looked at her with quiet pride and said, "Now you understand, my child. The palace job we lost, kept us here. Exactly where the traveling craftsman could find us. The kiln that broke, gave us something far better. Every door that closed, was pushing us toward an open window we could not yet see. We are never wise enough to judge life in the moment it arrives. The river knows where it is going, even when we cannot see the ocean." Priya held her father's rough hand and said softly, "I will remember this, always." And she did. Rajan's life teaches us something simple, yet powerful. 3 lessons we can all start practicing today. First, when something goes wrong, don't call it a disaster too quickly. Give life time to reveal the full picture. You are reading just 1 page of a very long book. Second, kindness opens doors that talent alone never can. Rajan's small act of generosity changed his life forever. What you give, always finds its way back to you. And third, stay steady. Don't fly too high when things go well, and don't fall too low when things fall apart. The middle path, calm, patient, grateful. That is where your true strength lives. Now think about your own life for a moment. Was there a job you didn't get, that later led you somewhere better? A relationship that ended, and made space for something healthier? A plan that failed, but forced you to grow in ways you never expected? That wasn't bad luck. That was life, writing a better chapter than the one you had planned. You cannot judge the harvest in the middle of the storm. So the next time life shakes you, take a slow breath, place your hand on your heart, and remind yourself. The river knows where it is going. Be patient, be thankful, keep your faith strong. Because everything, yes, everything, is connected. And your story is never over, until it is truly over. Now think of one moment in your life that felt like a loss, but later became a gift. Share it in the comments below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. And if this message touched you, like this video, share it with someone who needs it, and subscribe for more stories that inspire and uplift. I'll see you in the next one. Until then, stay patient, stay grateful, and keep moving forward.